Hey friends, Alan Lee here, your friendly neighborhood handyman. And as handyman, we fix faucets, we make homes look beautiful, but one thing that we don't really know a whole lot about is taxes. And that's what I want to talk about today. It can be very tricky, especially when you're talking about estimated quarterly taxes, when we need to pay them, if we need to pay them, and how much do we need to pay. We're gonna hop into that on today's video. It's gonna be very educational, so pull out a pen and paper and let's hop into it. All right, friends, let's hop into this and make this quick and snappy so that you can get back to what you love doing, and that's fixing homes. So first off, why do we even pay quarterly taxes? Well, unfortunately, Uncle Sam doesn't like to wait for his money. So we wanna make sure we can get that to him as quick as possible so that we can avoid penalties. That's the number one reason. Number two, paying estimated quarterly taxes helps with cash flow because we don't have that one big tax payment at the end of the year. So by breaking it up into 4 easy payments, it makes it a lot easier and makes the cash flow a lot smoother. The third reason that you wanna pay estimated quarterly taxes is just simply peace of mind. It's always horrible when we are stuck with that huge tax bill at the end of the year and we're just not quite sure if we're doing it right. Who needs to pay estimated quarterly taxes, and do I need to pay estimated quarterly taxes? Well, this is a great way to look at it is taxes are normally taken out of your paycheck. So if you're not making a paycheck, you most likely need to be paying estimated quarterly taxes. The way that it works when you have a typical W-2 job is taxes are taken out of every single paycheck that you are given. As a handyman, a sole proprietor handyman, you are not receiving a check from an employer every 2 weeks, so therefore you most likely need to pay estimated quarterly taxes. The way that the IRS defines it is if you make more than $1,000 and you're estimated to have to pay more than $1,000 at the end of the year in income tax, then you should probably be paying estimated quarterly taxes. Okay, so you figured out that you need to pay estimated quarterly taxes, but let's talk a little bit about how much you need to pay and how to figure that out. Obviously, what you're going to do is you're going to track things meticulously, and if you need some more information on that, we did a video on that not too long ago about tracking expenses and some of the best ways. We gave some great tips on how to do that. I'm going to link that video up here. Check that out. It's going to be super helpful. So one way that you can find your tax rate is you could go to the IRS website, and they have a bunch of tax brackets in there. They lay it all out there for you. I'll put a link to the IRS website down in the description below of this video. But you go to that website, you find out what the income is that you're actually bringing home. So you have your gross revenue of your business. You want to subtract materials from that. You want to subtract anything else that you can deduct from taxes from that number, and then figure out what your baseline, basically payment or salary that you're going to be taking away from your business is, and you're going to go ahead and plug that into the IRS website to find out what tax rate you are being taxed at. And so once you've figured out what your tax rate is, how much percentage that is, you're gonna go ahead and take your total that you're taking home. Let's say it's 50 grand and your tax rate ends up being 22%. You're going to take that 50 grand and you're gonna multiply it by that 22%. And that will, at the end of the day, give you your income tax rate. Another thing that you're gonna think about if you are a sole proprietor in your handyman business is you are going to be subject to pay self-employment tax. And self-employment tax is an additional 15.3%. All in all, this to say, it might be worthwhile to file your business as an LLC taxed as an S-Corp. If you don't know what that is and you don't know what it means from LLC taxed as an S-Corp to sole proprietor and what the differences are about that, we did a very informative video not too long ago. I will link that up here, so you guys should check that out because that's going to give you all the information that you need as far as the differences between an LLC, S-Corp, and a sole proprietor. And then when it gets down to figuring out how much you need to pay over the course of a year in estimated taxes, you can do that a few different ways. You can either project what you are planning on making and spending over the whole year and simply divide that by 4, or you can do estimations or projections by the quarter. Okay, so when it actually comes down to paying, there's a few key things that I want you to know is there are some deadlines that you have to make when you pay estimated quarterly taxes. They are due 4 times a year. Estimated quarterly taxes are due April 15th, June 15th, September 15th, and January 15th of the following year. And then when you go to pay that, you can do that a few different ways. You can pay on the IRS website, and again, I'll put a link down in the description below. You can also pay via phone, or you can send a check through the mail. And then another key thing is you want to make sure you are as accurate as possible. When you're dealing with taxes, when you're dealing with Uncle Sam, it's very uncomfortable, but it's better to overpay than not because you do not want to be faced with penalties. Okay, there's a few handyman bonus tips that I want to offer you. One is we went very in depth in accounting in our Handyman Clarity Bundle. And this is something that I talked about on our previous videos, but it's something that's very informative to the handyman industry. I've struggled for years on taxes and accounting and things like that. So I have put together a Handyman Clarity Bundle that really dives deep into taxes and marketing and a few other things. And I want to offer that to you today for a special discounted rate of $27. I'll put a link down in the description below where you can check that out. So you need to check out that Handyman Clarity Bundle. That's really going to help you wrap your brain around taxes and moving forward in your handyman business. One huge tip is you're going to want to make sure that you track income and expenses very, very meticulously. And there's some great tips and some great resources in that Clarity Bundle that help you to do that. Another tip that I would have for you is make sure that you factor in all of your expenses of self-employment tax. So it's not just income tax that you're going to need to pay as a sole proprietor. You're also going to need to pay self-employment tax. So there's a lot of taxes that are required of you. Make sure that you set enough money aside, because nothing is worse than getting to the end of your first year like I did, getting to the end of your first year, not even knowing how much money you made, not knowing how much money you spent, and simply not having money for taxes. There's absolutely nothing worse than that. It can cause you to go bankrupt. It could cause you to go out of business. So start planning now and make sure that you set aside enough so that you can pay for that. Another thing that you want to consider is tax deductions that you can put on your business expenses so that it'll lower your tax burden. Now, this is something that you want to talk to a CPA about. I would highly recommend you speak with my CPA. I have no affiliation with her. I don't get any money for mentioning her name, but she is absolutely fantastic. She's helped us out for the last few years in our business. Her name is Dee Stone. I'll put a link to her down in the description below. She's absolutely fantastic. Actually, in the Handyman Clarity Bundle that we talked about earlier, she actually runs one of those sessions and tells us a little bit about taxes. And I believe she also talks about estimated quarterly taxes in there as well. But check her out. She is well worth spending the money to book some time to talk to her. She is a wealth of knowledge. Another thing is you're gonna wanna just stay organized. A few things that we talked about in our last videos that I wanna highlight here if you haven't watched those videos yet is Company Cam is huge. Also QuickBooks is huge. Home Depot Pro account is huge. There's a lot of different things that will really help you out to stay organized come tax season, so you actually know what the heck's going on. So guys, I wanna thank you guys so much. I want to challenge you though. I want to challenge you to leave me a comment in the comment section below with one of your greatest tax questions that you have. One thing that's just really been bothering you, or one thing that you gained from this video. I would absolutely love to hear it. Also, like this video and subscribe to this channel. It really helps me along the mission of growing this handyman journey and helping the handyman industry get to somewhere that it's not. And before you go, I want you guys to check out this video right here. This video is going to help you out extremely in figuring out what you can deduct in your handyman business and specifically how to do that. So check out this video. That should be the next thing that you watch, and we'll see you guys over on that video. Have a great day, everyone.